Now to Austria, which has held a minute's silence to remember the 10 people killed by a gunman in a school shooting in the city of Graz. The 21-year-old suspected shooter carried out a rampage at his former school before turning the weapon on himself. Police say they found a non-functioning bomb and plans for a bomb attack at his home, though they're still searching for a motive.
Austria pauses to pay tribute. People stand together to remember those killed in Tuesday's shooting spree. It just hurts to see that young girls and boys will never come back, that they experienced the worst day of their lives where I had the best time of my life. I still know a few teachers. It just hurts a lot. They came together to mourn and offer comfort after the deadliest mass shooting in Austria's post-war history. The vice mayor of Graz told DW the city is united in grief.
We try to organize all these official meetings, but also private meetings, to make it possible that people just have the possibility to take one another in arms, to stand together, and just to give hope in any possible way.
On Tuesday, at around 10 in the morning, a gunman came into the school and opened fire. The former student killed 10 people and then later himself. Here at his home, police found a non-functional pipe bomb together with a farewell letter. They say the letter gave no clues about the possible motive. Back at the school, pupils have asked the media to respect their privacy. They say they are being well cared for by authorities. Today's minute of silence marks the start of 3 days of mourning in Austria.
Well, our correspondent, Christine Munwa, she joins us now from that high school in Graz, Austria, where the shooting happened yesterday. Christine, give us a sense, if you can, of what that community and what the country is going through right now.
Well, Brent, from the conversations I've had with young people here who were students at that school, with people who worked in the nearby vicinity, people who lived around here, you get the sense that this is a real shock to this community. Nobody was expecting something of this kind, so much so that some of the pupils told me that when they were hearing the gunfire, they didn't make it out to be gunfire. They didn't think it was gunfire until they could hear the screams of other students. They had to be told, this is a shooter. They spoke of the horror they experienced while they waited for emergency services or for the police to eventually make their way and clear them out of the school. One of the students saw a friend of his. He said he looked to have had what looked to him like a shot in the head, because he said he saw a hole in his head. That young man is among those who are deceased. So there is a real shock in this community. Throughout the day, people have been streaming to the different shrines that are around here. There are at least 3. That one right there behind me is sort of concealed to allow people a private moment away from the cameras. But just the sheer shock, some people said to me, we know this happens in America, but here in Austria, really far from what people were expecting.
Yeah, I mean, also thinking that the police said that the gunman shot in 2 classrooms. One of those classrooms apparently had been the classroom in which the gunman had been a student several years ago. 10 people were killed, many more remain hospitalized. What do we know about their condition tonight?
Brent, we spoke to a doctor who told us exclusively that from his assessment, he was on shift last night. He's an emergency doctor and would have been treating some of the patients that came to the hospital he works at. His assessment is that of the 11 or so people who are in hospital, only 1 person is in a really sort of critical condition. The rest are stable. He also has intel from the other hospital where some of the other injured people are. As far as the official statement on that goes, we've just been told that people are hospitalized and the number of people, but not necessarily the condition. This doctor giving us some detail, telling us that from what he saw last night and what he heard is happening in the other hospital, it's 1 person who is essentially in a critical condition. The others are stable.
I know along with the shock and the sorrow, many people are asking why. Have we heard from the police? Have they said anything about a possible motive, why the gunman did what he did?
Well, when the police talked about that letter that they found in his home, what they described as a farewell letter, people were hoping that perhaps there would be clues in that. They have now confirmed that there are no clues in that letter. Local media is also reporting that the gunman sent a video message of sorts to his mom. It's a message she didn't see on time. The implication is there could have been some kind of an intervention that she could have made. But again, this is all speculation. These are still the questions people are asking. It's opened a wider conversation about gun laws, whether there's a need to look at whether they should be so liberal. Austria has some of the most liberal gun laws among European countries. It's really easy to get a gun here compared to other countries. So authorities are opening that conversation now, should this be looked at? But again, for the people just processing what's happened here, I think it's just to find out why this young man was driven to commit such a heinous crime. He did have a troubled past, by all indications, might have been bullied and other sorts, but yeah.
Our correspondent Christine Munweb with the latest from the city of Graz in Austria. Christine, thank you.